Hey guys, welcome back to Dual Sport YT. So today we're going to be taking a look at the RPS 300 Cross Country. We're going to give you the pros and cons of this motorcycle and see if this motorcycle is worth buying or something you should pass on. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the specs. There is a kind of a full initial review on the channel, and you can go out and it'll give you a little bit more detail on the specs, but I'm going to tell you today some of the more important specs on this. So this has a 302.5 cc four-cylinder engine single. It has a 17-inch rear and a 19-inch front, and we bought that specifically because we were trying to get this a little bit lower for my wife. We have come in and dropped the whole bike about 2 inches off preload in the front fork, so it's down now. It comes at 34 inches seat height. We've got it to about 32, and so far it's pretty. It's a whole lot better for her to ride. Surprisingly, the bike has 26.7 or so they say horsepower from the factory with about 18 or 19 foot-pounds of torque. So even though it is a Chinese bike, it has pretty much the same specs as the Honda does coming out of the factory. It is around the same exact weight. I think wet it's in the 320, 330 range. And the seat positioning is different because of that hump, and I'm not really sure who designed that, who thought that was great. I guess maybe for some people on some, variation of height, maybe that's good. It's not great for me, and actually my wife doesn't care for it. So we're going to take this cover off, and this is just a foam seat, and we're just going to shave that hump off, and then we're going to put a new cover on it. It has about a 3.5 gallon tank. It has a digital dash on it with a windscreen, and it is a Chinese bike. It's about a little less than half the price of a Honda or the Ibex, and it's about a third the price of the Suzuki DRZ4. So let's go take a look at some riding footage, and then I'll give you some pros and cons on this bike. So on the pro side, obviously the price point is a great deal on this bike. This bike's going to be anywhere from $2,500 to $2,800 if you have them ship it to you. It will be in a crate. It's about 80% built, but you can get it through a company, get it built, everything just like this, ready to go out the door for about $3 grand. Now, so far we have put no money into it whatsoever, and I've been really surprised with the overall power. It's a fun bike to ride. So I think price point is a big pro on this bike. For us, another pro was the 17 and 19 inch wheels, simply because we're trying to get this low enough for my wife to ride. And it's tougher with an 18-inch rear and a 21-inch front. Another pro of this bike is it comes with a ton of features. I mean, you're coming for that price, you're coming with a windscreen, you're coming with a locking steering column, you're coming with a good amount of horsepower. It's not a slouch. It'll really run. I believe it says the top speed on this is between like 84 and 88. I haven't had it to that because obviously we're in the break-in process, but it'll get there quick. So it's a pretty solid, for the money. There's a lot of features for the bike. Another pro of the bike is it's relatively comfortable. Now, that seat position is not 100% comfortable for me, but the seat itself is pretty comfortable, and when we rectify that hump and get it out of there, I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable bike to ride. I will say this, I guess one of the bigger pros for me, this weighs the same as the Honda, has almost the same horsepower, but it seems to be way more nimble. It's a shorter wheelbase, and I guess because of the riding position and maybe the geometry of the bike, it's just really easy to get in and out of anything on it. So far, we've got 215 miles on it, and, only time will tell for longevity. But I do know people that have these bikes, not this one, but this same company's motors. And I mean, they have over 10,000 miles on their bike. So from what I've seen so far, I'm not trying to sell you nothing, but from what I've seen so far, it's a pretty good deal, man. Okay, let's look at some cons. I believe the fact that it is built in China is probably the biggest con, because in the first 215 miles, I have been just waiting for something catastrophic to happen. And it hasn't yet. Another con is probably the seating position, depending on your height. I'm 6'1", 200 pounds. It carries me really well, but to be kind of down in that little dip there. Now, my knees do fit perfectly in and around the tank, so I can't say nothing about that, but it would be nice. And like I said, we're going to flatten that seat to kind of push back a little bit every once in a while. I'm going to mention this as a con, even though we haven't experienced it. Durability. Like I said, I know people, I've heard of people that have over 10,000 miles on these bikes. But, is that a question of that's going to be every bike? What do you have to do to it? It seems to have once you get through break-in, it seems to have a pretty long oil change schedule. But I believe because it only holds like 1.7 quarts, I believe we're at least going to cut that schedule in half. I think it says about every 3,000, but I think we're going to probably do it every about 1,000 miles just to be safe, because there's not a lot of oil in that motor. So I guess the burning question is, with having the 2025 Honda CRF 300L Rally, the 2025 DRZ 4S, and the 2025 Ibex 450, why did I buy it? Well, I've stated before that we were trying to get something that the wife could ride, but I just kind of rolled the dice on this. Nobody pressured me into buying it. I'm not partial to anything from China. I have no skin in the game other than I bought this bike. But I think out of everything out there, I don't think Yamaha is going to be making the XT250 next year. And so I would have to get her a used bike. And I always prefer to buy new, so at least I know what's been done to the bike. And I bought that for her. And is this bike for you? Man, I don't know. That's only something you can figure out. I think at the price point, it's rock solid in the first 215 miles. Now, is that going to be the case 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 miles from now? I don't know. But we're going to take really good care of it. It is liquid cooled. It's an EFI engine. It has a lot of power and a lot of torque straight out of the factory. And I have a feeling there's probably more in that motor than the way they have it configured right now. But I don't know that I feel comfortable messing with an ECU flash or different pipe. I think it's a pretty good buy, man, and it's a really good commuter. And so far, it's been really easy to ride in the trails because it's so nimble. Once again, I think longevity will be what tells the tale on this bike. And while we're reviewing the other three bikes, we're going to be reviewing this one too. So if you're curious, if you want to know more, stick around. We'll be doing some more stuff on it. So far, the suspension is 2 or 3 notches above the Honda straight out of the factory. Now, I'm not saying this suspension is fantastic, but it's way better than the Honda suspension as far as getting it off-road. The Honda rides like a Cadillac on the street. It's very cushiony, but if you get it in any kind of whoops or anything, that tail's going to kick up, and it just is not. It's just not made to do that. So far, this one hasn't done it, and I haven't reached the bottom of the shocks. This is not a fantastic suspension, but it is way above what Honda sells you straight out of the gate. So listen, guys, we really appreciate you being around the channel. Hang out. We got lots more videos coming for you. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff with this bike and all other 3 bikes. If you've been around the channel, you know we've already been able to do a few giveaways on the channel, and we're going to be doing more. We get contacted all the time by people that want us to review their products, and if we review their products, whether it be for a specific bike or a universal product. We do try to get universal. Then we just put that on a channel and spin the wheel and somebody wins that. So is the cross country for you? I don't know, man. I will tell you this. I've been kind of surprised. And I've never owned anything but the big four. And I've owned a lot more motorcycles than you can count. So it's just fun to ride, man. Sometimes I go out to the garage and I just look forward to getting on it, riding it. It's a pretty fun little bike. All right, guys, listen, man, as always, we appreciate you being around the channel. Tons of stuff coming for you. Don't go nowhere. Please hit that like and subscribe. We really would appreciate it. It really helps the channel out, and it helps us get more products in here so we can give away to you guys. Lots more to come, man. Don't go nowhere. We'll see you on the next episode of Dual Sport YT.